Hello dear viewers, this is George from Ireland once more. So this video is about, will Jacob Rees-Mogg be Prime Minister? Forgive me, the Honourable Jacob Rees-Mogg. I call him that because he's the son of a peer, a life peer I know, but even though his father was just a day boy in the House of Lords, Rees-Mogg gets the prefix Honourable, or if you really pucker, pronounce it Honourable. Just to tell those viewers who don't know who the Honourable Rees-Mogg is, he's a Conservative member of Parliament who represents Somerset North East. So let's look at the reasons why Jacob Rees-Mogg might be Prime Minister. First of all, there's going to be a vacancy quite soon. It's a racing certainty that Theresa May, lame duck that she is, will not lead the Conservative Party into another election. That could be up to 5 years away. People estimate that she's got between 1 year and 2 years left to go, complete Brexit, and then leave the stage. So Rees-Mogg is one of those whom the bookies are saying is a possible future Prime Minister. Admittedly, of the 4 likely Conservative candidates, he's ranked least likely. Reasons why: he's about the right age. He's coming up for 50. He's been in Parliament not very long, 7 years, but not ridiculously long. People who've been there 20 or 30 years these days seem to be perhaps past their best, perhaps stale. I think even Corbyn's stock will be falling by the next election. So he's done something outside politics. Many people are fed up with career politicians who take a degree, often in politics, become an aide to a parliamentarian, then become a SPAD, special advisor, and have lived in the Westminster Village since the age of 21. No, he didn't do that. He was in investment banking. He worked in Hong Kong and so on, and he only got into Parliament at the age of about 41. So he made a fortune in his own right, although, well, the family he was born into was not short of a few pennies. He's very independent-minded. His integrity is unimpeachable. He believes in something, and that's why he's gone into public life, a bit like a knight of the shires in days of yore, simply to advance his own view. Its view is not for the furtherance of his own career. If he was kicked out of Parliament, he does have something to go back to, financially, in terms of career, in terms of hinterland, friendships, associations. So, for all those reasons, he would be quite a good Prime Minister. He's certainly gracious. He's respected on all sides of the House. He's formed an unlikely friendship with Mari Black, this firebrand SNP parliamentarian, elected at the age of 20, the youngest person ever to serve in Parliament, and she's a real left-winger as well as being a separatist, and she jokingly alludes to him as my boyfriend, despite her being an out lesbian. So no one dislikes Rees-Mogg. He's got a fantastic following on social media. He's a Johnny-come-lately to Twitter, which is often noted for its nastiness, but again, he's been very courteous on that, and said it can be enormous fun to debate issues in a dispassionate and polite manner. Okay, reasons why he's not likely to become Prime Minister. He's just too old-fashioned. He's like a throwback to the age of Eden or Macmillan. So people don't speak like him anymore. Some people will suspect that his overly precise diction or his languid timbre is affected. I'm not sure if it's studied. I've met people who knew him as an adolescent and say he was exactly the same way back in the 1980s. He's not experienced enough. Perhaps 7 years in Parliament is too short. Admittedly, it'll be 8 or 9 by the time a chance arises to go for the Prime Ministership. He's never held any ministerial portfolio. Then again, that didn't stop Corbyn. We live in strange times. The rule book has been torn up of British politics with regard to the SNP having done so well recently, with regard to the election of leaders like Corbyn, or Theresa May having a huge lead in the election and then throwing it away. Another thing is Jacob Rees-Mogg appears to be something of a loner. He has few allies in Parliament. He's greatly admired by UKIP, and now UKIP is about to be wound up in perhaps 2 years' time. So there'll be an influx of former Conservatives from the 90s and noughties going back to the party, having spent some time in UKIP. But I still don't think that's going to be enough for him. There'll be no other MPs, or probably peers, who are on his side. Frankly, there's a bit of jealousy because of that intake of 2010. Although he hasn't gained preferment in terms of getting the front bench, he's gained a lot more traction in the media because he is so distinctive. So overall, I have to conclude I don't think he'll make it. He's just seen as too much of a young fogey. He was like Confucius, born at the age of 60. His chronological age is gradually catching up with that of his mental age. So although I think he's a fantastic person, adding much to the gaiety of the nation, I don't think he's fit for modern times. I think he would have little purchase amongst the youth, amongst urban areas, unless people are particularly reactionary. As I say, I invented the term mogalomania. I'm a mogalomaniac. I would like to be proved wrong, but I conclude it's unlikely that Jacob Rees-Mogg will become Prime Minister.